right in.
Let's do
Okay, let's jump right
it.
in. Tell us a
Let's
little
do
about
it.
your story and how you started with your journey of being a digital nomad.
Oh my God. Well, okay. My story, my journey. So I actually traveled in 2019 with a company called Remote Year, and that was my first time ever experiencing like living abroad. That was my first time ever experiencing being in another country and doing things like grocery shopping and cooking and laundry and like things that you don't do when you go on vacation, right? Like truly living abroad. So that was such a game changer for me. Like that alone really showed me that wow, there really is life outside of the United States. Like, wow, there really are these other countries and cultures where these people, they have these incredible communities where they are actually caring about community and not just capitalism. And I was like, oh my God, I'm eating all these foods and they're so inexpensive and my body feels so much better. So that was really the first time I got to experience something like that. And once I got back to the US, listen, Illy, I tried. Like I tried to be like, I'm gonna embody this in the United States. I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna still do all the things I did when I was abroad. No, that is not what happened. That's not what happened at all. So essentially, fast forward to 2023, I actually thought that I was going to be living in Florida right now. Fun fact. But whenever I was in Paris, I was on a trip in September 2023, and I was doing this tour. It was like exploring Black Paris. So that was my first time ever even being like in Paris and seeing a completely Black side. Like I was in Little Africa and everything. Like it was so dope. And I was talking to the person who was hosting the tour, and we were talking about like the differences in like living abroad versus like living in the US. And then long story short, I ended up just like texting my husband and being like, I think we should live abroad instead of going to Florida. And he's like, baby, what? And I'm like, can we keep it open? And he's like, yes, we can keep it open. So I was like, bet. And I knew I had him at that point. So we ended up leaving in February 2024. So in the past like year like 12, 13 months, we've been in 10 different countries. And it's been an incredible journey. And luckily I've been working remote since 2018. So working like from anywhere wasn't like a brand new thing for me, but living this lifestyle has definitely been an experience.
I love it. And you sound so excited when you talk about it.
I
Like this,
am.
this was an adventure. I enjoyed it. I'm having fun.
Listen, it's still an adventure. It is still, look, y'all see, look, speaking of being a digital nomad, moving to different places, trying to find the Wi-Fi, trying to make sure you have your tech set up, because it's not like when you have a home office and it's like, this is where my desk goes, this is where my laptop goes, versus being a digital nomad where you move around and it's like you're constantly having to, create a new setup. Like this,
Yeah.
y'all, what y'all see, y'all are witnessing the life of a digital
Yeah.
nomad right here.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Okay, so let's jump right in. I love how you spoke about working remote. So tell us a little about that, because that's one of the biggest things that people always talk about.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for work? How are you living
Yeah.
like this? How are you
Yep.
making money? So tell us
Yep.
a little about working remote and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually been in the marketing like field for like 10 years now. It's so crazy to say that because time really just flies. But
Yes.
I've been in like the marketing arena for like 10 years. I have been, y'all, when I tell you corporate, agency, startup, I have done it. I've been in and out of a lot of jobs. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I'm telling you, if it ain't sitting right in my spirit, I'ma quit. Okay? That's just me. That's me. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just letting you know. I done popped in and out of a few jobs. And to be honest with you, the bigger thing is because I'm just not really employable. Like this is what I've learned about myself. Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a job, but I have learned that type of lifestyle, those types of restraints do not work for me.
Mhm.
Like I need my time freedom. I need to be able to move how I want, when I want. Like being a slave to somebody else's calendar was just,
Come on,
it was
come
just
on,
too much
come
for
on.
me. Yeah. So I'm actually on a journey to permanently exit the corporate world. I'm like 80% out, y'all. I am so close.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, I've done a lot of like digital marketing stuff for companies, but as of right now, I have my own business where I teach other people how to travel on a budget, other people how to live abroad on a budget, how to make money online, all of that. So that's what I do now. And since it's my own business, I can do that from anywhere in the world.
I love that. I love that. So, excuse me, I'm sorry.
You're good.
So, the thing is, I feel like a lot of people are scared to break free from the corporate world because we were literally taught that having a good career and a good job is everything, right?
Yep.
So, have you ever had any moments where you were like, that security, I don't know if I'm really ready to jump out? Have you ever had any fearful moments? Because it's like, I know a lot of people talk a lot about how they're doing this and I'm doing, but it's like a lot of people aren't really transparent with how that looks.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of like give the people a different perspective of like the mindset of a person doing this in those moments.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate those moments where you're like, damn it, do I really have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? Can I really do this? How do you maintain that type of mental?
Listen, because we got to get real raw, okay? We got to get real raw, okay? There have been multiple times where I quit a job and I thought that was going to be my last job, and I thought I was never going to have to go back, and I had to tuck my tail and go back because it didn't go the way I thought it would. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm gonna build this business and I'm gonna make all this money and fuck this job. I'm done. And yeah, it didn't happen that way. So there were a lot of times where I left and I had to end up going back to corporate. And when I left my most recent like big girl job, I call it was December 2023. It was my first 6-figure job. And so, of course you had logic that was like, girl, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you leave this job? They love you here. You making this money, blah, blah, blah. But I also was like so mentally exhausted all the time. And the thing is, once you get a little taste of entrepreneurship, once you get a little taste of that time
Yeah.
freedom, it's hard going back. Like, it is like mentally and spiritually, it is so hard to be putting so many hours of your day, of your week into something that your heart is not in.
Mm.
So I think for me, the biggest thing has been, even though me and my husband have been out here, we've been out here winging it, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We've been out here winging it. What some people don't want to tell y'all is into entrepreneurship stuff, it can get ghetto.
It can.
Okay? It can get real ghetto out here. But what we always come back to is, but would you rather have a job? And for us, the answer is
Exactly.
no. Because like for us, that time freedom it's everything, Ellie, honestly.
And I love how you touched on that because I feel like a lot of people see this lifestyle and they're like, they think that it's perfect. And
Mm,
that's what I want a lot of people to understand. Y'all see the media, y'all see the
yeah,
videos, y'all
yeah,
see these people smiling and happy and showing this is
yeah,
the life of a digital
yeah,
nomad.
yeah,
But y'all don't see what goes on behind closed doors.
yeah,
You're not the first person I've talked to that's a digital nomad that has said we had to wing it.
yeah.
People don't get
It's
that. It's not always roses and
it's
cupcakes
not.
and rainbows and smiles.
It's
Sometimes
child.
you gonna have those struggles. You gonna have those moments where you might not have made the amount of money that you thought you wanted to make, and you might, it might be a tight
Ooh,
week. You get what
honey.
I'm saying?
I very much get what you're saying, sis. I very,
Yeah.
very
So
much get
so
what you're saying.
So I love how you touched on that because this is not for the weak. And I think a lot of people need to know that it's two sides to this. You
Yeah,
got pros and you got cons. But
yeah.
you have to decide, are you gonna let the cons overtake the pros? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
that's the part.
So I got a question. So my first question is what are the best countries for digital nomads in your opinion? What's the best countries for digital nomads?
I think the biggest. Well, I'm gonna kind of counter that with a question because the best country for a digital nomad is going to depend on the type of lifestyle that you want to live. Because I have had people who, I swear to y'all, I've had somebody come in one of my lives on TikTok and they were like, where can I go that's like remote and I don't have to talk to people? And I was like, what? Like, it's a thing. But then I also have people who are completely on the opposite spectrum where they're like, I want to go somewhere where I can hang out with other digital nomads. So I would say it really depends. But some popular destinations for digital nomads in general are Mexico. Like Mexico City
Mhm.
is really big. I'm in Mexico right now, by the way. I'm in Merida. But
Yeah.
Mexico City is like really, really popular
Mm-hmm.
for digital nomads. Cape Town, South Africa is really popular as well. Nairobi, Kenya, Florianopolis, Brazil, Hanoi, Vietnam, Bangkok, Thailand. Those are probably some of like the top ones that come to my mind. But I mean, honestly, I could go on and on. There's a lot of them.
Okay, I love that. And that's why I say in European, because you know how the people like to
Yeah.
tussle. So I know everyone has their own perspective. So we wanted to know what your opinion would be of that. So what would you say the best way to find remote jobs would be? In your opinion, with your experience with remote work, what would be the best way if you were to give someone advice on how to go about a remote job?
Okay.
What would be your best bet?
So I'm gonna give like what I think is the absolute best answer, and then I'm gonna give what most people are more likely to trust.
Okay.
Let me just say that right now. Okay. So the number one way, in my opinion, is to hire somebody else to apply for you. To me, that is the best way to do it because applying for jobs can become really soul sucking. Like when you are just applying and you're not hearing back, applying for jobs is a job in itself.
It
So
is.
there's actually something called reverse recruitment. Like you can hire someone who is a reverse recruiter and they can actually apply to jobs for you. People who have experience, people who know what these jobs are looking for, people who can help you with your resume, your cover letter, all of that. So that is
Mhm.
my number one piece of advice. And again, I get like for some people, I understand that's not in the cards. Obviously, that is a service that you have to pay for. So if you feel like Bianca, that sounds great, but I got to do this myself, then I would say quality over quantity. We
Quality
make
over.
the mistake, yes, like we make the mistake of being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna apply to as many jobs as I can today, and I'm like, y'all, these these AI has changed everything. Okay, like back in the day, whenever you would submit your resume and a human got it, those days are over. Those days are over, and it's so unfortunate because so many people are putting out resumes and they're filling out all these applications, and it's not even getting in front of a human
Mm.
because you're not meeting the certain qualifications, because you don't have certain keywords, because your summary isn't in the right spot. Like there are all of these things that you want to pay attention to. So yeah, you need a professional. Yeah, so even if you're not going to hire somebody to apply for you, I absolutely recommend like hiring a professional to help you revamp your resume and your cover letter to make you stand out. Because trust me, y'all. And I'm that friend where people used to be like, yeah, will you look at my resume? Listen, I love y'all, but I'm gonna let y'all know right now. A lot of y'all, your resume is trash. I'm gonna just be
Mhm.
honest with y'all. Your resume is trash because if you and honestly, it makes sense because like if you're not a resume builder, if you're not a writer, if you're not in marketing, right? Like my sister is a nurse, so she always comes to me for that kind of stuff because she's like, Bianca, you know I'm not good at writing, like help me out.
Yeah.
So my second piece of advice would be to focus on quality over quantity. Instead of trying to apply to as many jobs as you can, really look for the jobs that you feel like you would excel at. Really look for a job where you feel like, okay, even if I don't have all the experience, these are things that I feel confident in speaking about. Because when you feel good about a job you're applying to, it's a different energy versus whenever you just doing that easily apply versus when you just going to change around some words. So like
Most
take the
definitely.
time. Yeah, like take the time and trust. Trust that what you're seeking is seeking you and that you don't have to lower your bar by mass applying to a bunch of stuff.
And then
So I know that's a little non-traditional advice, but
I,
that's my biggest
I
advice.
love it. It's real.
Yeah.
Because who got time? It's not like you're back home and it's like, oh, I'm gonna just go on Indeed and fill out 20 applications. One of them people gonna get back to you because that's Indeed. It's done differently.
Yeah.
But when you're applying for international remote jobs, that's different. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And they hot right now because everybody want to be remote. Ever
Everybody
since
want to be
COVID,
remote.
everybody want to be remote.
Everybody.
Yep.
Okay. Next question. What? So it's gonna be 2 on 1. So I'm gonna give you the first one first. What would you
Okay.
say the biggest challenge is as a digital nomad? And then I'm going to ask you, what would you say the greatest thing will be about being a digital nomad? So let's start with the challenge first, and then you could end it with like some good, some
Yeah.
goodness.
I would say the biggest challenge for me is because I am a digital nomad. So like, and I realized earlier, I didn't even actually say what that was. It literally just means like you can work and travel from anywhere. Like it's like simplest definition. So the most challenging thing for me is moving around so frequently because I have always been a very routine driven person. You know, I told you my moon is Capricorn.
Yep.
I have also, yes, I have always been a very like routine structure. This is what time I get up. This is my gym. This is my grocery store. And what I learned last year is that, baby, when your home changes every 4 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 2 weeks, like, of course, there's an upside to it, which we'll get to in a minute, but it's challenging to stay grounded. It's challenging to sometimes stay consistent with things like working out and cooking and content, right? Like depending on where I am and what I'm doing. So probably the biggest challenge is trying to stay grounded while moving so frequently, like not actually having a home.
Okay. I love that. I love how you just been so honest and transparent. I love that. I'm sure people can appreciate that as well,
Yeah.
So what would you say the greatest part of being a digital nomad
I
is?
mean, the greatest part of being a digital nomad is all these incredible, incredible travel experiences that I get to have. Like every single, yeah, before I was on live, like I was in the pool. That's why I look a little like frazzled because I was in the pool like right before,
You
bro,
say
like
enjoying
literally.
yourself.
Yes, like my husband was at the pool. So my husband is an online personal trainer. He's literally training clients, like sitting in the chair by the pool. I'm in the pool. I'm swimming. I'm out here like I'm literally floating. I cannot make this up, Illy. I'm floating. And like I open my eyes and I swear to God, I couldn't even take a photo because I'm like in the pool without my phone. All I see is this like gorgeous blue sky, palm trees, and I literally was just like, thank you, God. Like I'm like the gratitude, like honestly, like being able to experience all these different countries, being able to meet incredible people all over the world, like these are the things that make it worth it. Like this is why I tell people all the time, whether we're talking about moving abroad or whether we're talking about travel in general, like see the world, y'all. Like in the US, we are bamboozled into believing it's the best country in the world. It's too dangerous out there. Ain't nothing
That
out there for us. Y'all, we think that the sun rises and sets on the ass of the United States, and it does not.
it does
There is a
not.
big, beautiful planet out there. Go see it.
Go see it. Please
Go
go see it.
see it.
And I think that a lot of people are just they operate in fear,
Yeah.
which is what we're taught. They program
Yep.
us with fear. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They instill that in us as Americans.
Yep.
No one, well, I'm not going to say no one. I'm just going to say a lot of people don't have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
So people go based off what they see other people do. It's a majority thing in the US. So it's like
Wake up, y'all.
people go with what majority do, right? So that's what needs to be broken.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question. How do you stay safe and healthy while traveling abroad?
Okay.
So,
How do I
like,
say? Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
okay, real quick. So that would be like healthcare, um, personal safety, emergency plans. Like, how do you cover those kind of things?
Okay. Yeah. So as far as I'm glad you clarified that because my mind did go in another
That's why
direction
I
when
was
you
gonna
said
help you because I
that.
know I know how it gets. I know, so I had to simplify because that was kind of broad, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, be specific.
So there are like US companies that offer international health insurance. There are companies that are specifically for international health insurance. There's health insurance specific to digital nomads. Me and my husband personally, because we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve like travel credit card and the international like the travel insurance is like phenomenal. That is what we use. We actually have been like playing around with the idea of getting like some more like official digital nomad insurance. But the thing is, in most places outside of the US, it's so much less expensive. Like, y'all know how in the United States, you afraid when you get a pain because like you're literally like, I don't even know if I can afford a doctor bill. Like, I know y'all know what it feels like. Look, let's talk about the dentist. How many of y'all done let a tooth hurt for months, for years, because you were afraid of that dental bill? Like, it's so sad that that's a normal thing in the United States. But the thing is, because insurance is so, or because healthcare is so affordable outside of the US, and it's amazing healthcare, like a lot of times you don't even have to worry about that, because even if you do go to the doctor, it can be like 40, and I'm not talking like copay bills your insurance without insurance, like $30-$40, like being able to go to the dentist for, and getting your teeth cleaned for $50. Like, it's so inexpensive. But for us, we personally use the travel insurance that comes with the Sapphire Chase Reserve.
Okay. I love that. A lot of people ask, like, what do you do for just in case of an emergency? Even though most of us don't really have emergencies sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but a lot of people don't. And I think it's important for people to look into some type of insurance. Some type of something that can assist, because emergencies do happen. And I feel like that's very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, how do you handle like any kind of like visas or like taxes or like legal issues? So that would be like when I say legal issues, I'm saying like maybe something that you were unaware of in a country you visited. Have you ever had any of those kind of experiences, or like with taxes? Have you ever had any of those kind of experiences?
So taxes, no. Legal things, not really. Visas, yes. So because I am a digital nomad, so keep in mind, I move around, right? So if you are someone who's like, I want to move abroad from the US, but I'm only going to go live in Thailand, I'm staying here, I ain't going nowhere, that's a whole different scenario from someone like me who moves around. So with most countries, if you're not going to be there for at least 180 days, like roughly 6 months consecutively, like you don't even have to worry about taxes. So like nothing really has changed with my US taxes. I've been using the same person for years. I've been working with her virtually. It has not changed. Okay. In terms of visas, similar but different. So the visa process for every country is completely different. There are a lot of places where you can just go on like a tourist visa, which means like you don't really have to do anything. You just go to the airport, you get your passport stamped, and then you just make sure that you know how long you're allowed to be here. So like, or be there. So like right now I'm in Mexico, like I can be here. Hey, tuning in from
look,
Toy and Brandon, stop playing. I just hung out with them last night. Yo.
You said what?
I can't. I just hung out with Toy and Brandon last night.
Wow.
I cannot handle this right now.
Small world.
I cannot even handle this right now. This is crazy. I'm like, y'all even recognize me? Because now my hair didn't look nothing like this when y'all saw me last night.
It's okay.
That's crazy. But yeah, so whenever it comes to like the visas, every country is different. So you have to make sure that you look and see like what the God always working, period. You have to make sure that you look and see like what the visa process is. For most of the countries that we've been to, honestly, like we've just been able to do the tourist visa. There was Vietnam. Vietnam was a whole other ball game. Y'all, please be better than me. Please don't make the same mistakes as I do. Look up what you need for your visa at least 90 days in advance. I would say minimum 30, but be smart and do 90, because long story short, me and my husband didn't realize that we needed to actually go online and apply for a visa for Vietnam until like a week before our trip. So we were like, okay, whatever, fine. Let me go on the website. Let me just, put in my little application. It was a shit show. Okay. Long story short, we got there. But had we actually looked like further in advance, we would have known to do it not a few days beforehand, because the website was ghetto. They denied us. We were literally standing. Yeah, child, we were standing at the airport. Like we couldn't even check in. Like we had our bags. The woman would not let us check in because we didn't have our visa. Like we were literally waiting on a plug Don't judge me, y'all. We were literally waiting on a plug to come through with our visa. So do your research, okay? Travel.state.gov. Just do your research on the visa process before you go, because again, every country does it completely different.
That's real. Thank you for specifying that. Because a
Of
lot of
course.
people needs to know that they're like, hey, I want to go here. And they don't do the background research on what they need for that country.
Yeah.
And then like you said, so y'all hear that? Take notes on that. Because
Take
that's a
note,
real
y'all.
thing. That's a real thing. Make sure you do the research of the countries that you're interested in, just to make sure you have everything you need before entering. So are you saying, so you're sharing with them that you do need a visa before entering? You do have to go through a visa process before entering Vietnam.
Yes, unless it's changed. It was a year ago when I went, so I haven't checked. But as of last year, yes, dude, it was like $25. So like it's not expensive, but like I said, the website is wretched. And a lot of people, because this was a group trip that I was going on, and like a lot of people were getting denied. It wasn't just me and my husband. Like there were people that were like stuck in China. Like it was crazy. So if you are going to Vietnam, please submit for your visa months in advance, just in case something goes wrong, and just so you have enough time to ruminate it. Because honestly, it's just, you just don't want the stress. You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
just do not want the stress. And then also you can end up overstaying. Me and my husband ended up overstaying in Thailand, so we had to pay. Y'all, again, don't make the same mistakes as me. This is the thing about travel. You live and you learn. But this is why you are here. This is why you own this page. This is why you're listening to take notes, so y'all don't make the same mistakes.
Exactly. Okay, question. Could you tell them, do you remember how much it was? One. And then two, what's the name of the visa? Do you remember the
For
name of
Vietnam,
it and how much it was?
I don't remember the name of
Okay,
it,
okay.
but it was $25 for
Oh,
Vietnam specifically.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but normally if you go to travel.state.gov and you just like look up whatever country you want to go to, you can see all the visa requirements for that country. Not all the time, but a lot of time they will have like the links there that you need. Like the US passport, a lot of people have been talking about how it's not as strong as it used to be, which is fair. But honestly, y'all, if we compare it to a lot of other countries, it's still very
It's
strong.
still very
So there are,
strong.
yeah, like there are a
Absolutely.
lot of countries that you can go to on a tourist visa where like you don't even really got to think about it. You just go get your passport stamped and you move on. Like I've been to 24 different countries. Vietnam is the first country I have ever had to do that. Like literally
Mm,
ever.
I love that. Thank you, Mika. So for anybody who's listening and interested, Mika dropped the website for us. Oh, Mika, I need you to come work with me so you could be helping and doing that on the lives. Cause yes, cause my assistant could not make it. Cause I definitely was like, I'm gonna need somebody to work overtime. We working on it, but thank you for that. Cause woo, okay, I love that. I love the transparency because I feel like people dress things up. So y'all hearing it live and in color. It's not all perfect, but there is just a lot of people who have a strong desire to get what they want and their resilience. Like I feel like
Yeah.
okay. Somebody was calling me. Please, I hope you do not call back again. Don't call back. Please don't call back.
See, that's why I be on D&D. That's
Look,
exactly why I
it
be
is.
on D&D.
You want to know what I don't like? Why do it still do that? Because it's on D&D, but it's still wrong.
Oh, they might have called twice then. Oh, they really want to talk to you, sis. They called twice.
Yeah,
They hit you with that back to back.
don't call me. Look, don't do me like that. Don't do that. So, okay, where was I?
We're wrapping up on visas.
Yeah, visas. So I was just basically saying, I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry.
It's
I
all
forgot what
good.
I was saying. Anywho, we're gonna go to the next question.
This is live,
So,
baby.
I was saying I love the transparency. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because y'all hearing it live and in color that, you know, your favorites or multiples call or multiple calls. Yep. I was saying that I love how transparent you are about it because it's just like, you know, people think that this journey is all roses. And no, y'all, you know, people go through things. And that's
Yeah.
okay. That doesn't mean something's not for you, or that doesn't mean that it can't be done. And that was the whole point of this platform, just to show people that it can be done. You just have to have the willingness to be. You have to have the desire.
Yeah.
You have to pick your heart because nothing is easy. That's worth having, right?
Come
So you have
on.
to pick your heart. And I feel like how you explain, yeah, you got some pros, but you got some cons, and that's okay. So I want you to give us some insight on, like, okay, so a lot of women has their own insight on countries that they say you should, well, it's not safe for us to travel to. We shouldn't go to this country. So we're not like shitting on any countries or whatever. But we would like to know what.
You got a hotline tonight.
No, I'm about to tell him that I'm live because he's gonna keep calling. Hold on 1 second.
No worries.
Okay, what countries do you feel like you would say have you felt the safest? And give us some countries where you haven't felt the safest. Being melanated, being a person of color. Could you give us some insight on that?
Yes. I would say countries that I felt, so when I say the safest, I'm thinking like I would literally go out and walk at like 11 p.m. and I wouldn't even, I mean, I wouldn't because I'm asleep at 11 p.m. But I mean, if I could do that and I would be like, hey, I'm not pressed. So, Thailand, Vietnam, which is funny because when I was in Vietnam, the number one question I got was, is it safe? Is it safe? Yeah, I would say Southeast Asia for sure. And then probably El Salvador.
El
And that,
Salvador. Oh, I want to go there.
yeah, which is probably controversial.
You know it
But
is.
yeah. Places where I'll say I felt the least safe. There's never been a time where like I was in a country and I was just like, I gotta get out of this country. But countries where I was probably in more like precarious situations, Egypt. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Egypt, the monuments there, the history there is incredible. You need to see it, but you do not need to go by yourself, and you do not need to go without a tour guide. I am team solo travel, not Egypt.
Okay.
Just y'all, not Egypt. Okay, just don't. Just don't. Anywhere else where I felt, to be honest with you, I'm like, not really. I mean, I've been in some scenarios where I was like, okay, where like I may have been in a country and depending on where I was like, all right, Bianca, like get your bag close to you. Like even here, like here in Mexico. So now in the city I'm in right now, Merida is actually the number one safest city in Mexico. So this is the first time that I've been like in Mexico like this. And I mean, I've just like walked around with my phone and like I was not pressed. But like when I was in Mexico City, I was more diligent. Okay. I was more vigilant. I was like, all right, Bianca. But I mean, as far as like safety, if you want me to be honest with y'all, like I feel safer in most of these countries than I do in the United States of America.
Wow. And that's the thing. A lot of people, their biggest thing is safety.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I know everyone has different experiences. So we can only listen to people's experiences, but we can't really make them personal because it's not our experiences. But I do feel that it's very important to take in another person's perspective.
Yeah.
I feel
I
that
agree.
that's important. I feel like that's important with traveling, especially being a woman of color, just being melanated at all. I really feel like that's important to highlight, to
Yeah.
know what places are safe for us and where we
Yeah.
can go and thrive and feel really good. I saw this girl on TikTok earlier and she was talking about her experience in Colombia. So I would say, hey, Colombia is really good. But she was like, no, she didn't even feel comfortable in a bathing suit. And her friend almost got kidnapped and da-da-da. So you get what I'm saying? So as I'm
That's
watching,
crazy.
I'm hearing this, but at the same time, I haven't personally been to Colombia, but I know people who have and they felt safe. You get what
I
I'm
love
saying?
Colombia.
So
I love Colombia.
so we all have like different
Yeah.
experiences, but I think it's very important to take other people's experience into consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Okay, so
very thin line. It's treading that line of taking into account like what you've heard, but then also like making a decision for yourself and deciding like, deciding like if you're still going to do it. Exactly, Shauna. Always be vigilant, especially if you by
Yes.
yourself, right? Like I will lie, y'all. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like when I travel by myself, it is very different now that I travel with my husband. I have gotten a little bit lazier because he looks like a bouncer. But I promise you, I do see a difference when I'm not with him. I'm telling you, more I get approached. Okay, I definitely get approached more often when I'm not with him. So yes, constant vigilance, 100%.
I love that. And that's the thing. I feel like it's a very different experience when you do have a man with you.
Yeah,
I've
100%. Yeah,
heard that. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that
yeah,
a lot. And that's why it's like, as women, even if you don't have a man with you, ladies, like she said in the comments, gotta stay vigilant, gotta pay attention, gotta have them ears open, eyes open,
yeah,
know what's going on around you. You know, you can't
yeah,
slack because you're not from there. Remember, you're a foreigner, you're an immigrant. Look, they say y'all
yeah.
are immigrants. Why would you want to be an immigrant? Let me mind my business. Let me be an
Um,
immigrant. Okay, so what is the best advice? Like one thing you would tell someone right now if they were like, "Hey, I'm looking to move abroad. What should I do? How should I start?"
mm, the first thing that I would say for starting is to commit. Like it's to commit. There's so much whenever it comes to travel, living abroad, all of this. There's so much of it that's mindset that I feel like a lot of creators are not talking about. I can talk to you about visas. I can talk to you about country. I can talk to you about all these things. But to be honest with you, like Illy was saying earlier, so many people allow fear to hold them back. Like so many people, you start something and then you get overwhelmed. So if you are serious about this, the first step is to decide that you are serious and commit to making it happen. Because also, like Illy said, listen, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. I'm going to tell you right now, there is going to be if less than three unexpected things come up, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Okay, like you're going to have some setbacks. There are going to be some moments where you're like, am I crazy? Am I really doing this? But if you commit and if you decide this is something that you are serious about, you get to continue to come back to that commitment. You get to come back to your why, whatever your why is. And whenever you have those moments where you're like, damn, I didn't get approved for this visa. Damn, I just know I was going to this country, but now this happened. Oh, I was so positive I was going to be able to move on this date, but now I got moved back. Oh, I thought I was doing this, but now my baby daddy got a problem. Oh, my mama not supporting me. Like, oh, I thought I had this job and now I don't. This remote job was in the bag, but I just got laid off. Listen, the devil likes to get
Hello.
busy when you get serious, okay? So, step number one, get your mind right. Commit. Because all the stuff that comes after, you got this. All that other stuff, you can do it.
I love that.
Start here.
That was that power, that encouragement that somebody needed to hear. Because a lot of people, like
It's
you
real.
said, fear.
Yeah.
A lot of people have wanted to move abroad for so long, and a lot of y'all are watching. Why haven't you started your journey?
Ooh.
Because you listen to what people say, you listen to the negative things that you hear on the internet, and you don't have a why,
Yeah.
like you said. And I say that all the time because that why is going to be there when you are having those challenges that we
Yep.
spoke about. When those challenges rise, you're going to be like, okay, but I started this journey for this. I had a reason why I'm doing this.
Mm.
Listen, I have to tell myself this every day because, I got kids. So, baby,
That's a whole other ball
yeah, that's a whole
game.
nother ball game. Because people always ask, you gonna have your kids with you? You taking your kids with you? Where else they gonna go? Now, look, no disrespect. No disrespect. Some people do not take their kids with them sometimes.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
true.
it. Me, I can't be out in the world without my kids. That's
Right.
me.
I feel you.
Nothing to nobody else, but you know. So you have to always have that why to go back to. You can't worry about anything that people say in the negativity. So that was empowerment that people needed to hear, because the journey, I mean, it's beautiful. It can be very beautiful, but it's what you make it, right?
Mm.
It's what you
You gotta
make it.
find them silver linings, y'all. Find them silver linings because they are there. They are there.
They are. And I want you to touch on I know, so the phone been lagging. We had a few difficulties, so I'm still not gonna keep you that long. It's okay for us to go over just a little over 8,
You're all good.
because we didn't get the full, because we had those technical difficulties.
Yeah,
But
you're all good.
I just pretty much wanted you to flow. For everyone asking questions, remember that every Thursday we have an episode. So make sure y'all send y'all questions so I can make sure to add your questions to the queue of questions. Because we passing some of y'all questions, and not purposely. It's just that I like to like keep a queue going. But we chilling tonight. We vibing.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to like look at the questions. That's why y'all see me kind of zoning in, trying to see like, all right, what they say, because I don't want to ignore y'all. But I personally feel like moving abroad is like a spiritual journey. I feel
Mm,
like it takes place mental.
yeah.
I feel like it takes place mentally, I meant to say, before physically. So like, what advice would you give as far as how to prepare a person mentally for the journey of moving abroad? Because it's so much that goes through your head. You go through those moments of doubt when you're like, am I doing what's right? Like, do I
Yeah.
really want to travel all over the world? Do I have the money? Am I gonna make the
Mm,
money? People
yeah.
think I'm crazy. They say I'm going to a third world country. All this negativity. Are these countries even accepting Americans right now? Are we even welcome?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a person to tame all of that and to work with that? Like just like spiritually, like from a mental point. It's like I asked something close to this, but it was like different. So like,
Yeah.
what would you look the money part? I know, right? Because a lot of people think about that. They worry about money.
Yeah.
They worry about money all the time. So how do you tame those thoughts? Like, what advice would you give to somebody?
So the first thing that I would say is recognize that wherever you are in your life, you already have a 100% success rate of figuring shit out. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be where you are right now. So the first thing is to keep in mind that you can do hard things. When people ask me, like, is moving abroad hard? I want to do this, but I'm afraid it's going to be hard. I'm like, but you can do hard things. You've done hard things before. So the biggest thing is understanding what grounds you. Okay, it's different for everybody. Like me, I'm a morning girly. I love having me a morning routine. I like to get up, I like to meditate, I like to work out, I like to get outside, I like to journal, I like to script. Figure out what grounds you. Is it music? Is it writing? Is it coloring? Is it reading? And whenever you find yourself having those thoughts, because they're going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
the thoughts will come. Learn how to ground yourself. Pick your go-to. I would say you want to have at least 2 things that you can go to and do it. And like, I know this might sound kind of crazy, but sometimes y'all, I literally have to like I have to distract myself. Like if I find myself about to go into a spiral, I'm like, let me pop on let me put on my headphones real quick. Let me go do a quick meditation. So figure out what works for you, because it honestly, it's different for everybody. And then those of you who are watching this, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching the replay, like, because you're here, it already shows that this is something that you are at least a little bit serious about. Okay,
Exactly.
if y'all are already in here, you're already in a great spot because you're already following Illy. So you're already following somebody who is showing you all these people who have done it. Lean into that. You can follow all of them. There's a lot of people on here. Like, even I'm still going through and like following people because she be featuring some amazing people on this page. Like, follow these people. Y'all on social media all day scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and getting zoned out. Fill your feed with things that inspire you. Fill your feed with people who make you want to go to the next level, people who make you want to do better. And also people who are real. Don't just follow the people that only post the highlight reels. Don't only be following the people who are posting, the clear bottom
Come on,
kayaks.
come
Okay? Follow the people that are going to really tell you what this life is like, because those are the people that are going to remind you that even though there are times where it gets hard, that does not mean it's not worth it.
I agree. You a good motivational speaker.
Thank you, girl.
You a good motivational speaker.
I appreciate you.
Is vision. So to the young lady that asked the question about the VPN, we were not ignoring you. I'm real big on letting people land their plane when they're speaking. I don't like to interrupt. I'm real big on giving people the floor. It's just how I was raised. It's a respect thing. So I wanted to wait till she was done speaking. You said something about a VPN working abroad. So if you work, so I don't recommend moving to work abroad if your job does not know that you're going to be abroad. I don't
Yeah.
recommend that. I've seen a lot of cases where I actually know somebody personally who did that and it didn't work when they got to where they were, and then they end up getting fired.
Ooh.
They end up getting fired for that. So you definitely need to communicate with your job. Let them know that you're going to be abroad, because just because it's a remote job doesn't mean that you can work outside of the US though. That's the thing.
Right.
Some remote
Right.
jobs are only for the US. So
Yeah,
you definitely need to
unfortunately.
look into that and make sure. So I don't recommend, okay? I don't recommend that, because I don't want you to leave and start setting things up and you like, oh, I got this job, because the person that I know, they actually lost their job. Then they have to figure out how they were going to make money once they got abroad, because they got fired from that job, because the job was like, they were like, hey, I'm here. And they were like, we didn't tell your ass you can go there.
Ooh.
And it was like, but I thought I could work abroad. Yeah, in the US. We never said out the country. So he kind of had to figure out some other things and he lost his job. So I definitely would, get that understood with your job first.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that, Bianca. You gave so much good insight. I want you guys to make sure that you follow Bianca. I'm trying to look at the comments. I'm trying to because there's not a lot of us in there. So I'm like, we can kind of handle the comments to an extent. But I want y'all to make sure y'all follow Bianca. Make sure y'all follow her here on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow her on TikTok. And she also has YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So make sure y'all follow all her networks. Keep up with what she has going on. What I like about her is she's a free spirit and she doesn't mind sharing information. Some digital nomads, sometimes they don't always want to share the journey. So I have so much love and so much respect for people who do not mind sharing their journey, because it's a lot of people that have questions and they want to know, right? So I just appreciate you for being willing to share this space with us and answer these questions, because being a digital nomad, a lot of people say, oh, it's trending right now. You guys don't think about the long term. You're only thinking about now. Wonder when the world claps, what are you gonna do? You don't have anything. Listen, y'all don't know how freeing. What's the handle so we can follow? Okay, so
I'll put
go
it in
to
the
the top
comments
right here, click that arrow. You're gonna, and it's gonna drop down, and then you'll see her. She should be up there in that arrow. Click it. Yep. Thank you, Shauna. Listen, whoever keeps dropping these comments, y'all gonna have to reach out, because I'm gonna add y'all to the team. Y'all gonna have to be working the lives, because I'm loving this. So yes, that is her tag. It is she's booking the flight, right? She's booking the flight.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, it says
She's
she's
booking
not
the
on there.
flight.
Well, yeah, they tagged it in the comments. So make sure you guys follow her. She's a digital nomad. So tell us a little bit about where you are now and what's going on now. Tell us where you're going next. We in your business. We want to know.
Oh my God. Yeah, I am currently in Merida, Mexico. So y'all, I swear to you, me and my husband will make these plans. Okay. We make these plans and then we be somewhere else. Okay. We did not think we were going to be in Mexico right now, but we are in Merida, Mexico. I actually came here for a brand collaboration with a company called Expatsy. And we are liking it more than we thought we were gonna like it. So we've been kicking it here longer than we anticipated. We've been meeting some dope people like Toy and Brandon. So we met some really great people here. And yeah, as of right now, we don't know how long we're gonna be in Mexico. I will be back in the States in May because I have a wedding, and then I have there's a conference I'm speaking at called Move Abroad Con, which is in my bio if y'all want more information about that. But yeah, after that, I'm leaving it at TBD. I'm a pop up on y'all. I'm gonna pop up and let y'all know where we gonna be at next. But for right now, we are in Mexico.
I love it. I love it. Okay, you said, can you name some of the countries that you've been to for us so people can
Yeah,
know so they can know
I'll do
you
the
are
ones that,
well traveled, okay?
yeah, I'll do the ones from the last year just to keep it a little bit more concise. So since February of last year, I have been in Brazil, Spain, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, Panama, Colombia, and Mexico.
Yes, I love it. So that's why
Yes.
y'all should follow her. Make sure y'all follow because she's well traveled. So she's familiar with what's going on in the world. And she's always sharing and she always live. So
Yeah,
make sure
y'all.
y'all follow
I
her
be
on that
live on
TikTok.
TikTok for sure.
Follow her
Yeah,
on that
catch me on
TikTok so y'all can
catch
stay.
me.
So one thing I want to say real quick,
Yeah.
tacos. I am obsessed with the tacos. I love the tacos in Mexico alone. Like I'm like addicted to tacos. So like that was one of the main reasons why I say I could move to Mexico because of the
Yep.
tacos. So what would you say the best food is that you've had since you've been in Mexico
Tacos.
right now? Tacos. I knew it
Tacos.
was the
Say
tacos.
what?
I love tacos.
Child, what?
Yes.
Child, I done had tacos probably at least half the days that I've been here. And after I get off this live, I'm going to get me some
Try them all.
tacos.
Do the veggie, do the steak,
Yeah,
do the chicken, do the shrimp.
might as well.
Tacos,
Might as
tacos,
well.
tacos.
Yeah.
We appreciate you so much for tuning in. So y'all are
Of
gonna see
course.
more of Bianca because I want to do some great things with her. I like our energy together. She is a cool, down to earth, humble, sweet spirit. I
Oh,
definitely
thank
want you guys to stay
you.
connected. Like I said, follow her journey, all that good stuff. Yes, thank you, Mika. Yeah, you gotta tune in. We're gonna have some stuff going on. And I appreciate you for tuning in today and taking the time, even with our technical difficulties. You were very
Yes.
patient, my love. And we appreciate you. Could you tell us your TikTok really quick? Someone
Yeah,
asked.
it's she's booking the flight. So the handle is the same on here, and on TikTok and on YouTube. It's she's booking the flight.
I love it. And she keeping it simple all
Yeah.
across.
Yep.
Okay. So is there any last remarks that you would like to make for being a digital nomad and just the journey? Anything that comes to mind? Last words.
I mean, honestly, I just want to tell y'all, we'll be talking about this during our beach day. Y'all, this is what I mean, we're literally, y'all, you meet incredible people all over the world. I really would just like to tell y'all this life is possible for you. Okay. Like I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up with resources. I grew up black and broke, lower middle class in the United States. And yet I've traveled to 24 countries. Yet I live abroad. It does not have to be crazy expensive. I literally specialize in teaching people how to travel and live abroad on a budget. Okay. So just please know that this life is possible for you. It don't matter what anybody else got to say. Like if this is on your heart, if this is on your spirit, make the move because the US ain't going no motherfucking where.
Okay, hello. Say it again for the ones in the back. It's not going nowhere at all.
It's not. Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate all y'all. Illy, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. I just thank you for being patient and thank you for just, adding your energy to the space. I appreciate you as always. And like she said, she teaches you how to live abroad and do all that good stuff on a budget. So a lot of
Yeah.
y'all need that. Y'all know y'all got spending problems. You don't know how to keep a couple dollars. You like to buy fast food and, all that other shit. So make sure y'all tune in to her. Please post the conference info. It's in her bio. Didn't you say it's
Yeah.
in your bio?
Yeah, it's
She
at
said
the
the
if you
conference
go to she's
info.
booking the flight,
Yeah.
it's at the link in my bio. Yeah, it's called Move Abroad Con. It's in May 24th to 25th in San Antonio, Texas. And there's a link in my bio to give you 10% off your ticket for those of y'all who are for real, for real.
Is it virtual or just in person?
It's in
Okay.
person.
Okay. Damn, if I was still in the States at that time, I would have came and supported. But it's okay
I appreciate
because we
you.
about to link up.
We could be
Listen,
linking
these
up
the
all
type
of
of
other
connections.
continents, sis.
Listen, that's why I said the type of connections I need. All the people that we connecting with, all these stories. That's the type of connections I need. Hey, I'm about to meet you in England. See you
Yeah.
there.
Ooh.
Okay? See you in the UK. Like, let's go.
That's the
Okay? I'll
energy
see
I
you in Europe.
love.
Portugal.
Yes.
Okay, to be exact. Look, you
Yes.
know that's a hard one. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to let you go. I don't want to hold you. I thank you so much for your last words. Thank you for sharing this space with us. We just wish you many blessings and much success to you and your husband as y'all keep traveling and growing and thriving abroad. So we appreciate you, sending you love. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Bye, y'all.
Peace.